Yeah, y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's Thursday, the 30th of October. Almost got 8 p.m. And you know, the last few days, I've been putting my man on blast. And I should put all of Congress on blast, but I ain't got their faces. So this one gonna have to do. Look at it. What you looking at? What you looking at? Well, people, I didn't want to do a video until a few days after if they don't fund the government. I said the government. I know there are a gazillion thoughts on this thing. But people, what's best for America right now? Think about it. White, black, homeless, veterans. You name the one. Someone who made a mistake, got too many kids by a variety of men. You name it. People have become dependent upon the money. The more I study this thing, the more I believe this was even planned. Just like we got used to having a McDonald's every 15 minutes. We got dependent upon that. Or a CVS, or a Walgreens, or a Walmart, or you name it. The convenience of it, we got accustomed to it. You gotta understand where I'm going with this. The international economic landscape with the trade, they got accustomed to having the best deal with the trade. Now Trump's the new man in the White House. Oh, I gotta reel it in. We gotta get our share. Many times when you get older, you sit back. My grandmother used to sit in a rocking chair. Something about that rocking chair, just go back and forth, back and forth. But I believe God Almighty had somebody design that rocking chair. I said that rocking chair. So you can think. So you can stop your world and think about what's going on in it. And so as I reminisce thinking about my grandmother in that rocking chair, and sometime I would join her because Papa Ben was long gone. She had a brown one, he had a red one. And I might add, I like Papa Ben's because his rocking chair was leather red. I miss that rocking chair. But we would just rock together. And she would just hum her tunes, you know, the old gospel classics. I said, Grandma in her own space. People, we in a space. And we got to ask, how did we get here? Because 1 and 1 make 2 all day. So I want you to visualize yourself in a rocking chair. You can join both of us. Grandma on that side, I'm on the other side. You get your rocking chair. I want you to sit back and think. I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 60. I want you to think this thing through with me. Because we didn't get here without a plan and or a technique being put in place. The government do more studies than PhD doctors, psychiatrists, and psychologists. Yeah, I can't even pronounce the word. Psychologists. But you know what I'm trying to say. Now this here lady, she got a warning for y'all. And I'm gonna shout out to her. She put this out 5 hours ago. And she got a warning that I want to speak on it. Here we go.
to my people, to my black people. Please do not go out stealing shit, because all this is a setup. It's a plot, okay? This whole government shutdown shit, and them, you know, and people not getting their stamps and all this and all that, they is counting on black folks, or just any folks. I'm not gonna say just black folks, but the majority of us, they are looking for us to loot, to do all types of bad shit, just so they can send troops out to the Democrat states. They know what the fuck they, especially Trump. He know what he doing. Please.
I tried to miss that because I don't want no cussing on there. People, look.
Please don't fall for it.
Please don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Do you think it is possible that the powers created all these programs? And I'm going to get to the accountability question. Do you think the government set all these programs up without the proper checks and balances in place, knowing full well people not only in the first time it started, but for generations thereafter would continue to live off a government check? I'm in the rocking chair. You in your rocking chair. Bible said, come on, let us reason together. What you think? I just got that feeling tonight, so I said, let me go on social media and let's talk about it. And then I ran into her. Because look, people, we've never had boots on the ground like this. Well, Pearson, who you talking about? We never had the National Guard that I know of. I mean, every now and then some black people. This generation don't know what that's about. And most of us living and breathing Americans, we're not used to National Guard. Well, you got to give them something to do, don't you? I told y'all I believe this was more than just illegals. I told y'all it was about us. I should have told y'all when y'all got on that, once y'all sat down in the rocking chair, put your thinking cap on. Okay, now we back. Put your thinking cap on. You're in a rocking chair, might have to fasten your seatbelt this time. And put on your thinking cap. Because I did say back in the day that this illegal immigration thing, or should I say as my mayor says, undocumented. I said that this issue was a tool to utilize for the powers plan. You feel me? So maybe this is phase 2 or phase 3. That now they say, you know what? We can shut the government down. Oh yeah, we brought the National Guard in. Democratic states. And think about it. A lot of the conversation has been the last maybe month or so. And you heard it all in the news, all over the news. I ain't making it up. Do your homework. People have been saying, they've been critiquing and criticizing Trump. What they been saying? Let me refresh your memory. Trump, you got equal or just as much crime in Republican states than you do in Democrat states. But you sending the troops to places like Chicago, and you got other places that got more crime in the Republican states. Have you not heard that argument? Come on now. Put that thinking cap on. I saw you. Don't cheat. I want you to be fair and square. Because we got less than, 2 days? We got a day and a half, y'all. It's getting real. And usually when we catch the TikTok or social media, you know, we get certain perspective. We might say, well, people just venting. But I found two videos that made me think a little bit more outside the box. Could this very well be a setup by the powers? And like she said, majority black. But then she said, you know what? All of us. Let me go back. Excuse the few cuss words she said at the beginning. But listen.
Yo, I have a message to my people, to my black people. Please do not go out stealing shit. Because all this is a setup. It's a plot, okay? This whole government shutdown shit, and them, you know, and people not getting their stamps and all this and all that, they is counting on black folks, or just any of folks. I'm not gonna say just black folks, but the majority of us, they are looking for us to loot, to do all types of bad shit, just so they can send troops out to the Democrat states.
Did you hear that? It's a plan, y'all. And look, the girl couldn't be more than 25 years old, but she got the wisdom of a 70-year-old woman. Come on, man. She making too much sense. She must have just got up out the rocking chair. Come on, man. I dare you put a comment section. Tell me how you really feel. I think she hit it. Filling up the jet. Look. It's almost as worse as they did when they was dumping drugs and guns in the minority neighborhood so they could fill up in prisons within 6 months or a year. I said it. So now you capitalize on the immigration issue, bring in the National Guard, give us about a month full of captures and suspense on that end. And now you tweak it a little bit and you have a government shutdown, knowing that maybe 20% of those going to fall into the trap too and fill up the prisons again. That's all I got to say. Now let me go to this other one.
I just finally got confirmation that food stamps is officially cut for next month. About 2 months ago, I stopped eating dinner almost every night of the week so that my boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work.
I don't think that we really realize the depth that this is, the damage that this is going to do. But the women, the mothers, and the families, but the mothers especially, who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to. I know that I will absolutely be one of those mothers.
I want that to sink in.
Especially who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to.
I want that to sink in. There is nothing like a mother's love. There's nothing in the world that compares to a mother's love. A man can try to embrace it, but he can't. He fathers over the kingdom, but she delivers that baby. And so she feels far and wide. And her instinctive paternal nature, the birth, that God-given, when it's helpless, she's at her best. When I heard this, I begin to think more spiritually that it is a spiritual attack. It's easy. It's so easy. Shame on America and shame on the world. That one of the first impulsive reactions that we ever had.
My boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work.
I don't...
Food stamps is officially cut for next month. About 2 months ago, I stopped.
I want you to understand. I am not naive to think that there is a segment of people out here which are just totally, pitifully irresponsible. For 19 years, I hired them at KFC. I did not just hire people for a job. Many times I hired a person so they could self-rehab. Do you understand? You probably never heard of that concept, but I looked at it biblically because there's a self-esteem issue. There's an alignment, a conformity to nature and the universe that many kids need. I'm gonna give you a quick story. I was working in a mall, and like many of you all have said before, I was probably the first manager in Chicago to ever have men work the front counter. That is the cash register. And so I would have men and women side by side working the cash register. Usually men at KFC, they worked as a cook. Not at my restaurants. I believed in EEOC, okay? And I believed that if a man wanted to get in management, he needed to understand all aspects of the business, just like a woman. So I would have women cooks as well. Do you understand? But I digress. I remember one time, I kind of laughed and I told my cooks, I said, man, y'all need to go home. Y'all hanging around too much. I was playing, but I was serious. I remember one of my cooks, his name was Joseph. I wish I could meet him again. If I did, I would start crying. He said, P, you want to know why we hang around the store so much? Now, it's in the mall, so it really ain't no biggie, but, you know. He said, you want to know why we hang around this restaurant so much? I said, why? He said, it's the only place we ever felt like we had a family. I have never, ever forgotten that line. And I'm 66, and I had to be in my 30s at the time. Maybe, I don't know, late 30s. It touched me in ways I hadn't thought. Sometimes it's good to listen to people. So as I do these videos, my mind reminisces, and as I'm sure yours does too. It's easy to get on that lady's case and say, well, she got 6 kids. God only knows how many baby daddies. But either way, this is America's circumstance because she's in America. I didn't say it was right. I didn't say it was right on any levels. What I am saying is that somehow, through the generations, we've come to this point where someone is not in line with what and how the universe would naturally do things. Someone did not coach, train, mentor, advise, or who knows, she might not even listen. But hands down, if you lived as long as I have, you know it wasn't like this in the 60s and 70s. Started happening around maybe mid-70s. I'm not going to argue about it. What I'm saying is things are off the chain right about now. But what I'm looking at is this. Look at the time. If they don't open this government, if they don't put these checks out here, we can witness a nightmare, people. Mothers can only do so much. There's single daddies out here too. Again, there are single daddies out here. There are single grandmothers and single uncles and single granddaddies. I was a single father. I get it. I have the empathy and the sympathy, but I also have a correction nature too, to reach down and say, wait a minute, I need you to, going forward, to try to be a little bit more responsible. I need you to do this. I learned decades ago in college, stipulation obligation. You just don't give people money without having an obligation. Teach them. That's why a lot of people who get into a lot of money right away, a lot of them, they bankrupt within a couple years because they never knew how to appreciate money. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no difference with an aid check. if you ain't earning it, and it's always gonna be there like clockwork, the government know there'll always be those who become so dependent, they'll never try to make anything better for themselves. That's all I'm saying.
Eating dinner almost every night of the week so that my boyfriend and I could have enough food left over to have lunch the next day. This was before we were about to lose our food stamps. Mind you, we both work.
I don't think that we really realize the depth that this is, the damage that this is going to do, but the women, the mothers, and the families, but the mothers especially, who are going to go without meals so their children don't have to. I know that I will absolutely be one of those mothers.
I want you to look at these comments. Can't spell hatred without a red hat. Is America great yet? Project blank, 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 folks. It was an open book test. I don't think this is time to signify. I don't think this is the time to say who was right and who was wrong. I think when it really comes down to it, we all been deceived by one generational politician or another. Because the more research I do, the more I understand. We have not had a president of the United States since the founding of the country. Arguably so. Maybe the first 5 was probably 80% legit. The more I decode, the more I see the math, the more I understand the situations surrounding these politicians, the more I come to realize the symbology and the similar circumstances where they think they season and cycle, they repeat. That 3 out of the first 5 presidents died on July 4th. You think that was an accident? America ain't never been great. And like I've told y'all, started a few years ago, the country was never built for you. It was built to design the one world system. We are the whore that is in the Bible in the book of Revelation. Once you come to grips with what God is really talking about, and you can finger point and see it, you can go back in history and unclog all that garbage that they taught you in high school and college. And you can figure it out on your own. How that rocking chair feeling right about now? I said, how that rocking chair feeling right about now? They have lied to us while they set up international governments with the trade. I taught y'all that the last few weeks. They deliberately let these other countries rip us off with trade so they can make these countries fat. Then they gave us drugs and everything else and created another economy. Think about what I'm saying. They sent our jobs, a lot of our skills, and our factories overseas. And now that Trump is in the White House, the good cop, bad cop paradigm, now he gets to do what? He pulls the plug on every major international business around the world. Because the goal of Satan was to do what? Make us all inclusive, make us all one. That's why the Bible says, in the last days in the book of Revelation, you will not be able to buy or sell without the mark. The whole damn world, y'all. How you think it was structured? I just told you. I just told you. The trade war is 666. When the economy collapses, it's gonna be like a bowling ball. It's just gonna rock everything. So we can sit up here and signify about who was right and who was wrong in terms of Trump. 99% of these presidents been on something. They just dress it up a different way. So I'm sympathizing and empathizing with the mothers, the brothers, the sisters, the aunts, and all of America. And all the soup kitchens who helping out, and all the pantries who's helping out, and anybody who's helping out. And all the mom and pop, 25 to 30 to 40%, or your money come in because of this because of the wick and the snap, and you won't get it, if the average mom and pop doesn't get wick and snap customers the next 2 months, they're gonna close down. Then what these 3 people gonna be saying then? But we ain't thinking long term. The devil thinks long term. And when you put it in perspective, that's what it's all about. That's why I can understand why this sister here said what she said. It's a setup on so many levels. You can take your thinking cap off, stop your rocking chair. Tell God thank you.